we are back. G-Mac and Winnie coming at you with another edition of the Outlaw Blitz podcast. Mr. Magoo, let's get dangerous.
And as we start, this picture comes over my fucking phone.
Don't put it on video.
I'm not.
I got you. All right. Yep.
What the fuck?
At least he doesn't have a dress on this time.
Oh, didn't know that was a thing.
Yes.
Okay.
That will be on, if you haven't listened to episode 200, go back and listen to our top 5. That will be on Old Capitol.
Yeah, 100%.
That will be on Old Capitol.
I have the first person to interview from Foxhall to Port U and the David Ortiz story.
Somebody knew him personally or something?
Yes.
Oh,
His
yeah?
initials are TT, and you know who he is. Recently returned to our area.
Oh, okay, sure. You'll have to tell me off air because I'm not going to put it together right now.
Recently returned to our facility.
Oh, yeah, okay.
TT.
Yeah,
He knows him personally. Knew him personally.
Has gray eyebrows, but the rest of his hair is perfectly colored.
Correct.
Yeah.
That is correct.
What's been going on, buddy?
Made a grave mistake on Saturday night, I think it was.
We have no hat today on Winnie. The head's looking awful white in this light.
Really?
Yeah. Shiny.
I
I think you should put on Sal's gay hat. Backwards, forward, whatever. Yeah, no, either way, no, forward was working.
I don't know. No, fuck it.
No.
Look, with the freshly shaved head, hats are hard. They like stick.
Yeah.
I need the stubble. Yeah, I had a couple of them Tarzan hangers out of my nose.
Oh.
So I bought a brand new set of
Hedge clippers
of the nose hair.
They're circular, right?
Right, but I used the other attachment, the sideways one.
What is wrong with you?
And I went
Cut the shit out of your nose?
I went in my nose and I just did the circle and I just saw a clump of hair. Just okay. Apparently it's bad to shave out all of your nose hair.
Yeah, because it's the filter.
Yeah. So I had nothing but I sneezed for the first 3 days. My nose wouldn't stop running.
Oh, that's
It was
awesome.
fucking terrible. I
thought I had the dust mite up there. Everything.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And then at night,
farts are extra strong.
Right. And then at night with the CPAP machine,
yeah,
that fucker was like a tornado blowing in there.
Darth Vader, bro.
Oh, it was bad. I didn't Darth Vader this week, though.
So, I'm telling you, if you have not seen or listened to episode 200, I know you never listen, really. I have to because, like, I do the audio and stuff, and I just want to make sure it's right.
Right.
And I was fucking full belly laughing on the way into work, listening to our top 5 from the episode 200, and then Dirtbag was hilarious too.
We just straight ripped on people.
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
good.
It was awesome. It was and every one of those shows could be on a local TV here,
right?
And people would
definitely watch.
We would get high viewer numbers.
We would be like the local Lion King. Or the Lion King. What was his name? Tiger King?
Tiger King, yeah. Yeah.
So, no, it is pretty fucking funny. Other than that, I picked my glasses up.
I see that.
It's starting to give me a headache. I just put them on. The lady told me it's going to take a few days, if not longer, to adjust for your brain to catch up to what your eyes are seeing, because if I look up, it's blurry. If I look down, it's blurry. Straight ahead right now, because you're like mid-range, you're perfectly clear. I have to look down, and that's perfectly clear. But if I move my head, then it's blurry. I got to get used to the different. She's like, there's prescriptions everywhere. So I said, okay. But it's better than the alternative, apparently, because when they put my old prescription on.
Do you need them to drive, though?
I've always needed them to drive, but I don't. I don't know. I just don't like. I don't know. It's weird. I might give them. Now that's blurry. Now that's clear. Yeah, they're all over the place with this shit. But my prescription got so bad in my left eye, like I said last time, when I went in, it was actually blurry.
Not good.
I've seen double.
Yeah.
Out of that one, so I guess I need them. But at the blue, they'll help for work. That's what I think they're really helpful.
Blue light and being on a computer,
right?
Yeah. No, that's good.
Work, so
that's good. My week,
my Malcolm triple XLs.
Yeah, we're not going to dive deep into the NFL, but it's opening night is tonight. We record a week early all the time. I'm going to go and say the Super Bowl will be the Bengals And from the NFC, I like the. I'm going to say the Bengals over the Chargers in the AFC. And I'm going to say in the NFC, I'm going to say the Cowboys are at least in the title game because if not, the coach, the quarterback, everybody's gone. And I think they're going to visit. Oh God, who's a good NFC team right now?
I have one Cowboy.
I think San
Detroit.
Francisco takes a step back. No, I don't believe in Detroit. I will say it's going to be. Oh shit! Not an NFC. I'll say an NFC West. I'll surprise you with one. I'll say the Seahawks.
That would be a surprise. Their offense has potential, for sure. I want to say Jets Lions.
Of course you do.
I don't believe that.
Why Jets Lions?
They simmed the season. They stemmed the season, and the championship games were Chiefs over Jets, and Lions over. Was it Lions over Rams or Lions over Philly?
I'm going to scratch that. I'm going Rams. My pick.
And then it had.
I was trying to think of the West team. It's a healthy Matt Stafford.
Right, and then it had Chiefs, Lions, and then it had Lions winning Super Bowl. But I'm going Jets Lions with the JETS.
Oh, okay. But tonight,
dude, if they don't do it this year,
I think the Ravens.
They're not going to.
I think the Ravens beat.
I took Chiefs.
KC tonight.
I have the Swim King pool started.
Yeah.
So.
Cool.
Yeah, I dropped that. Me and Sport Hammer. He's still in it. So.
Are you in any suicide pools?
No.
They're good because you got to pick one team. You can only use it once.
Dude, I heard.
And week one always comes down to the last possession.
I heard the best format, the coolest format I've heard for fantasy football. What the hell do they call it? It's like the Devils something. Basically, it's a 10 or 12 team league.
Mm-hmm.
The league drafts besides one team, and the one team that doesn't drafts his team from the leftovers.
Okay.
Each week, if you beat somebody, you get to take somebody off that roster.
Oh, so that's just a roster of.
You're like if you were the guy that didn't draft, you draft your roster from the free agent pool.
Yeah.
If you beat somebody, you get to take one player off of that person's
team.
Roster.
So you
get on a fucking roll.
You're given the worst team.
Right.
But you have the chance. If I beat you, have a down week, I beat you, I could take your best player.
Correct.
And then the next week, their best player.
Correct. So
that is pretty cool.
You get like a 3-week roll going.
Yeah, but you're at a major disadvantage to start the year.
You are. You need something to really break.
Now, does that rotate around? Or who's determined to be the Devils?
I think they have to. That's done at the beginning of the year.
Or it's drawn.
It's probably drawn.
Yeah, no, that's
I think
cool.
that's a challenging one for sure.
And the caveat with that to me would be if you get stuck with that pick,
right?
No matter what, you don't have to pay the losers pay the whatever that is.
Right.
It's the other 9 guys or 10 or 11, whatever.
Right.
Would be, because usually the loser gets the tattoo, the loser, whatever.
Whatever, yeah.
That loser would have to do it.
Yeah.
Because you're at a distinct disadvantage the
100%.
entire year.
I have one Cowboy on my roster.
Which is?
Rico Dowdle.
He's gonna touch the ball. Well, I wouldn't say he's gonna touch the ball a lot. He's gonna be the primary back.
That's what I think.
And then Swartwood has Zeke, and he's like, I got fucking Zeke. I go, and he's a Cowboy fan. I go, dude, we couldn't score in the red zone last year.
Right.
Zeke is what they brought him back for the red zone.
Right.
He could still have 12 touchdowns, just all red zone shit.
Listen, Dowdle's my number 4. I have Joe Mixon and Breece Hall.
Yep.
Are my starters. Then I have Devin Singletary and Rico Dowdle. So they're my bye week backs. But if he gets 800 yards or 700 yards and 5 touchdowns, that's all I need out of a number 3 or number 4.
Yeah.
And I think we'll do that.
Cool. But I didn't want to get into sports because then we just fucking end up talking for 2 hours about sports.
Drives people away.
Yeah, it drives people away. Anything else going on in your life? Any
really.
Good shit? Any bad shit?
Yeah, actually. Max got
good or bad?
Good.
Okay, good.
He was
promoted?
he was gonna change careers, and he got called in yesterday for. They brought him in and say, we heard you're leaving. Will you at least come in and talk to us before you go? And he's now the assistant general manager of Diamond Mills.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I was going to say, like, every third or fourth episode, Max has a career change.
So. No. He was disgruntled, and they didn't want to let him go, so they offered him a really good
That's
job.
good. Listen, if he's a hard worker, why
He's got
not
an
move him up?
office and a laptop, and
oh boy,
he's moving up. So, and both my boys, listen, I couldn't be prouder.
No, yeah, and they're both in managerial positions.
Yep,
it's good. All right, anything else before we get moving along?
That Ichiro clip you sent me was hysterical.
Yeah, oh, that was funny, right?
Yeah,
that was good stuff.
He looked like he didn't even want to say it.
Yeah,
and then he put it out there, but this shit was funny.
Yeah. Last week, my daughter went back to England. I drove her to the airport. All the kids had one 24-hour period together.
Nice.
Which is cool. They went out to dinner. I didn't know about it. I just happened to see it. They all went to my dad's to the cemetery.
Nice.
And sat at my dad's bench, which is cool. I saw a picture of it. I'm like, oh my God. They never even mentioned it to me. So when I witnessed them say goodbye to each other, it was weird. Like I thought there would have been tears. They were like, peace. They all kind of, But you know what? That means that they're all happy in where they are.
Right.
Journey is happy in Potsdam doing what she's doing. Summer is happy in England doing what she's doing.
Yeah.
Boston's whatever.
Doing what Boston's doing.
Whatever Boston's currently doing. I can't really put my thumb on that one, so,
That's all right.
All I know is my fall is opened wide open.
Right. And listen, Maris football's looking better because now it's down to only a 60% chance with cooler weather, and now they're only saying showers.
Yeah, and it's a 1:00 game?
Noon.
Noon?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Right. Get there. Perfect. Fuck out.
Yo, I got the tailgate shit. We could go over early and tailgate.
We could.
I got the tent and
it's not going to rain then.
So. No. Well, I got the tent anyway.
Yeah, I think
I got the grill because I had it all for last year.
That's right.
All right. Let's move along.
Yep.
Top 5. This week's top 5. Your top 5 favorite things about going back to school.
Okay.
I don't know if you're not seeing. You looking like Red Fox over here with your big eyeballs.
Are you looking at me?
I don't know. That's Andy Dick in Employee of the Month.
Love that movie.
I'll start. Number 5, it resets the life schedule.
Okay. I don't know. Maybe I did a different take on it.
Okay.
I did it like I was still in school.
I did too, except for this one.
Okay.
Even that kind of did, though.
A little bit, yeah.
Like, your summer's your summer, but it resets the life schedule.
Summer stopped for me usually mid-August.
Yeah, but that was only in high school.
Right, because that was practice starts.
Right, but I'm saying in grade school,
right.
In school in general, the first day of school resets life schedule. Parents, kids have to be up. Everybody's got to be on time. Like, order restores in September.
Right. I had one of those.
August, depending on where you
what could have been viewed as like a shitty time for a birthday.
Because you had it right like the last week before.
Yeah, so like I got like school clothes was usually my birthday present.
That does suck. It's like having it 2 weeks before Christmas.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, my number 5, the official change of the season. I know fall doesn't start until, the 21st?
Yeah, you got 3 weeks, but it's...
But to me, the first
fall.
day of school was like, that's the new season.
Right, we got 2 weeks of hot weather, and then it should be fall.
Right.
Yeah, I get it. That's cool. My number 4, and this is a little bit weird, but every year I loved the new gym smell.
Oh, the freshly...
When they would do the floor over.
The freshly waxed and buffed floor.
And think about it. We were athletes. We were kids that, loved gym.
Yeah.
That's my best subject. So when you would go in there, you never seen the gym look better.
Yeah.
The floor looked thick. It looked like liquid almost. It was so clean.
Right.
And then by the time you got there, 2 weeks later, it was full of dust.
And then
you're slipping around,
and
sliding.
If you were an outdoor athlete that time of season, you might have heard, "Oh, the field!"
Yeah.
As they were lining or mowing the game field.
If you were in Socrates. Yeah. You're fucked up.
Oh, yeah.
My feet are hot. I'm picking them up off the floor for that.
I did watch Coach Neville and that guy get into it one day, and it was entertaining.
All right.
Number 4, new school clothes and gear, which means backpack, trapper keepers, notebooks, book covers.
That's all at the top of my list.
Okay. So
my number 3, reconnecting with friends that you didn't see all summer.
That's higher on my list.
Whatever.
That's my number 2. But my number 3, fresh sneakers.
Well, you're a sneakerhead, so yes.
Yeah. Yep. And always try to get something that I didn't think somebody else would have. And a lot of times those sneakers came out of the JCPenney catalog.
Right, because you could only get them through the JCPenney
Right.
catalog.
So I had some pretty cool looking Nikes that you couldn't buy in the store.
Right.
So I was like, all right. And then I think it was
best pair of sneakers you ever owned
in school.
Most, not unique, but
Oh, Jordan.
Or no, in general.
My first pair of Jordans, Jordan 5 Grapes. Well, not the Grapes. They were the Fresh Prince Bel Airs. They were the teal. They were all white with the purple tongue with the teal Jordan. Best pair ever. Have yet to. I'm waiting for them to retro so I can buy.
Mine's the original Reebok pumps.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? Like, that was the
awesome.
biggest shoe ever, at the time. They were $200 then.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I could never. I can only trade sneakers with one friend. Ferg had the same size foot as me. Nobody else wore 12 or 13.
Yeah.
So do you remember when the Reebok, the canvasy suede ones, the $30 ones, were in a zillion different colors?
Yep.
Those were big. That's when I think Blaze was working at Champs. Got a lot of pair for 5-figure discount.
Yeah, I bet you guys did.
Oh yeah.
Every color to match every hat.
Hey, that statute of limitations is way up on that shit.
Yeah, it doesn't even exist anymore.
Right.
My number 2 is growth. Things moving forward. Even as a kid, you kind of always knew, you know, whether it be first grade to second grade, you're getting a little older, you're learning a little more, things are getting a little tougher. You know what I mean? Like, every year you grew. There was always growth of some sort, and school reset that mentality. Like, I'm going to get better at X, whether it's writing your name, math, talking to girls, football, whatever. But it was growth. Every year, it was a new opportunity for growth. And in hindsight, hindsight's 2020. I think I knew it then, but I appreciate it more now. Like, every year, it's like a fresh start.
Right.
You could have had a fuck up, terrible year last year, but that new season, that new school year, it was an opportunity for growth.
Right.
To be a better you, to be a better this, to learn more, to whatever. It's growth.
There was other growth we looked for too.
Later, Later in life, you're like, holy cow.
Wow.
They came in over the summer.
Well, and that's part of the seeing the friends you hadn't seen all summer.
Yeah.
And getting your schedule and then going through classes the very first day, seeing, I got George in fucking 3 of my classes, cool.
Right.
Shit like that.
Correct.
And then seeing.
Remember, you didn't know your schedule till you got it.
Right.
And then you're in homeroom going, who do I got? And then you wouldn't know until 4th period math. Oh, holy shit, Highland's in here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
There were like the ugly ducklings that
blossomed.
Yeah. For real.
Yeah.
I
don't know that we've ever had anything other than a gym or a lunch together.
Or football.
No, I'm just saying. As far as classes,
I don't know.
I really don't. Like, we didn't go to the same grade school. High school, I remember eating lunch a few times. I remember football, whatever. Gym class, I think maybe 1 or 2 years. Maybe. I definitely was in one gym class.
Did you do Regents?
Yeah, I had a Regents diploma. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think we just.
I think I did.
They
Regents,
made us pick majors. Like,
I think I did Regents through 10th grade, and then because I went to welding because I was racing cars,
right?
That I got out of that.
That's where I think we really didn't see each other much at all at that point. I saw you more in the spring, than any time because we'd see each other at the field.
Yeah,
but I think I always got stuck. Well, you had your homeroom,
and it was by alphabet then.
Right
now, it's just first period.
That's just first period.
Weird.
They don't do homeroom no more?
No, they don't. Like, listen, if your name was Smith and there was a, Smarts next to you,
right?
You guys had the lockers right next to each other your entire. Me and Shaniqua always had Machado.
Yeah.
Right next to each other our entire career.
Every homeroom until I think every year. Tanya Wilson.
The Willig sisters, probably.
Yeah, both Judy and Jean. Tanya Wilson was usually in front of me, then Dwayne Wolf was behind me. That was every fucking home.
Right.
So,
not the Willig sisters?
No, I think they were. They may have been.
Unless she was in front of Wilson. It was probably them two, her, you.
Yeah, WIL.
Yeah.
Yeah, the two
So
L's,
Dwayne
yeah.
was like your locker
Dwayne
mate
was
your
right next
entire
to it. Pretty
time.
much, yeah.
Yeah.
But did you? All right. So did you
Why
scour?
are you yelling at me, bro?
I don't know because I'm excited.
I'm glad you're awake and you're yelling, but you're like, did you?
I'm yelling.
I'm like, what is going on?
Did you scour the hallways, the different wings for empty lockers?
Oh yeah.
Okay, because I had a locker.
I had friends that had lockers,
Right.
and I'd be like, okay, well, I have science down this hall, and that's
Right.
all I got. I'd have a book in that room.
I would occasionally use like the girlfriend's locker.
Yeah, of course.
I would stash it in Kelly's locker or whomever, and then I would. Once we got sports lockers, then that became my locker.
Yeah, yeah. But
and I had the worst fucking locker mates every year.
The dirtiest,
filthy.
Yeah.
John Fitzsimmons was awful.
Oh yeah, dude, he was
foul. A fucking dirtbag.
Yeah,
he
foul.
was terrible.
Foul.
Yeah,
Yep.
I think I got me. Did I get foul?
Did you have Jed?
Never. Blaze had Jed.
No.
Blaze had Jed. I think. I had Fitzy as a ninth grader. Damn.
Where in the locker room were you in ninth grade? Like when you came in, we went to the right, and then you had that.
Right, so you had if you're facing the back wall.
And then the third locker on the left was where Mark Fondino got stuffed in it, and then he kicked it out. Remember, it was shut right?
Yeah. So, no, I was on the right
and that locker still doesn't shut right.
I was on the right side, probably dead nuts middle.
I was on the right side, probably like fourth down.
Like, I was lucky to be a freshman.
I was in with Mike DeAngelis.
Yeah.
And he was clean, so I was good.
I was lucky. Well, you're lucky to be a freshman
and have a locker mate. Not the ones that were...
Not the little tiny-ass ones in the back.
Or on the other side.
I remember Joel Legoff having this weird padlock. It was definitely an off-brand because it had the push buttons.
Oh, okay, yep.
Ethan Tompkins grabbed it and literally snapped it
and then pissed on his shoulder
pads?
pissed
on his shoulder pads.
Yeah, dirtbag.
Total dirtbag.
Dirt. Have you ever pissed on someone's dirtbag?
Yes.
Yep.
Have you ever pissed on other people in the school shower?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Dirtbag.
Garrett Hasbrook.
Yeah.
Constantly.
Yeah. All right. So what were we up to?
We're number ones.
All right. My number one was your first day of school outfit. You know, not having a lot of money coming up. That was like the one day. Everything I wore was probably brand new, except for the day returning from Christmas break.
Right.
So you had new sneakers, new jeans on, and then feeling like you're the big man on campus occasionally, like when you're in sixth grade. You know what I mean? Then when you get to junior high, you're fucking a small fish in the pond. And then when we got to about 10th grade, we were like the class.
Right.
Remember when they used to do the color wars? All of a sudden, when we were in 10th grade, we did it. They didn't invite us. We just did it.
Right.
And then like from when we were 10th grade on, we were that group.
Yeah, I think so.
So like from 10th grade on, we were just the guy.
The
people.
Family.
Yeah, right. But you remember, I remember like they would do like the color wars. Everybody would wear their headbands and shit. And then we were just like, yeah, no, we're doing ours. And we picked the color and we went to school that year.
Interesting fact for those who may not know, who've listened, Jimmy Fallon went to our high school as well.
J5.
Yep.
Jimmy, Jerry. It was Jimmy, Jerry. There was two Jimmys, wasn't there?
It was Jimmy Fallon.
Jerry Hayjack.
John Costello.
Oh, man, Gonzalez.
Joe Gonzalez. And
the thing about these kids is for 5 years in a row, or 6 years, from 7th grade through high school, they were the J5.
It wasn't Joey Montana, was it?
No, he was a year behind them. And they won the student body every year for 5 years.
Yep. I remember when we had, it wasn't our class, but a senior class president got back in. That's now the way the schedules are. On Saturday, thinking we B. If we had scrimmage always
Yeah, no, we got keeps dropping down, but it's not staying there long enough. So the stuff like you don't
Right.
see.
How old were you when
11.
okay. I'm gonna say I was fantasy video the whole time.
Yeah.
A year, like leaving football practice, my bag,
Yep.
and walking right down to
Well,
at
because
9
if you
o'clock when the
didn't, your
video
dad
store
would kick the
closed.
shit.
The I picked up as many hours as I could. We bought most of it.
Right, you went to County Seat or wherever back in the day.
Right.
I love that
Marshall's
store.
Marshalls was
wherever.
great for
Yeah.
sneakers. So
Yeah.
like I would start the year with 2 pairs of sneakers, and then it got colder or something new was up in like Hot Topic or the fucking t-shirt store down by Ground Round.
Yeah. Yep.
And you could drive your car and shit.
Yeah.
So that was like the
You know what
first like real independence.
You know what JCPenney was good for too? Sports shit.
Yes.
And and shit that people didn't see, like
Right.
You wanted your Jet shit or Cowboy shit.
Yeah.
They had a lot of sports stuff.
My father went to I think high school with the guy and girl that owned Century Sports. Remember Century Sports?
Yep.
So anytime he wanted to get something, he would just go there and talk to them, and they could order whatever he wanted. That's because I was a spoiled little asshole, and had them. Okay, and had the Miami Heat jacket in Sorgerties, which nobody else could find. Shit like that.
Yeah.
I was that spoiled guy. But yeah, man,
this being the first week of school, it's awesome to have.
What's your biggest regret going into a school year?
Not playing football my senior year. Like I was in really good shape by then. Like I raced all summer. I got my weight down. I was in shape.
Now mine was kind of different. I mean,
listen, every school year, not applying myself. I never brought a book home and I got 90s.
Right.
If I would have applied myself and actually cared, I wouldn't be, a fat fuck that hates his life every day and gets up and goes, hey, this is blood money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Good is the enemy of the great. Like I was always smart enough to do it. I just was never driven enough or pushed enough to do it.
So the worst thing I think was going into sophomore year, that whole summer, I was like super dedicated to being
in shape.
Mike Buzon and I would run 5 miles, and like I didn't like to run, but I did.
But you did it.
And I got to training. I got to 2 days, and as a sophomore, I was going to make varsity, and one of the last weeks, I think maybe the week before the final week of training camp, I fucking just busted my thumb, destroyed my thumb. That put me out 6 weeks.
Yeah.
And back on JV.
Mm-hmm.
So going into senior year, I was like kind of deflated, and I was not. Or going into junior year,
right?
I was not nearly as fucking
in shape
and wanting to play. And then once I got there, of course I did, but I pissed away the whole fucking summer.
But that's the point. Now you're not prepared.
Right.
And if you came in prepared, how much better would you have been?
Correct.
No, I know.
Correct.
And the thing is these younger guys don't understand. You only live once, man.
Right.
And it goes by in a hurry, and you think you got the time, and you don't.
You only get one shot, man.
Right. Like, you were a seventh grader and now you blinked and you're a senior. You
Right.
know what I mean? You gotta just fucking go all out while you can.
Absolutely.
Leave no. You've heard me say this a million times on here. The problem is you get to a certain point in your life and you realize you never gave it your all for fear of failure.
Right.
And there's a lot more pain in would have, could have, should have than there is in I tried my best
Right.
and I didn't succeed.
Right. Listen, I definitely I was definitely not the ladies' man. I always for one way or another had a girlfriend, but I was never the guy playing the field. I was lucky to have a girlfriend or whatnot. Would I have applied myself more that way? Yeah, probably.
Dude, pussy was my downfall.
my overachievement, my high school career. Does Dave listen to the show?
Dave knows you went with her.
Yeah, that's my overachievement of my entire life.
He doesn't listen, but
that's funny.
I bust his balls every chance I get.
Yeah, that was my overachievement. There's no way I should have fucking
ever taken her to the
mud ball, right?
And I tell Boston, I'm like, oh, Dave's girl. He's like, no fucking way, really? Because she's still beautiful. Today.
Oh, gorgeous. Yeah. Her daughters look just like her. She's just a beautiful girl.
Cool. All right, let's move forward because we're eating up a lot of time. We haven't
even gotten fun. Though.
It is. It is. It's good to reminisce, but here we are, two fat guys reminiscing, and then you got kids that are starting school and not appreciating what they have right in front of them.
Right.
Yeah. All right, let's move along.
Be us, but maximize your shit so you can be us and have more fun of talking about it later.
Yeah, and don't let the trim ruin your life.
There you go.
Five crazy questions this week presented by Winnie. And as usual, the Outlaw Blitz video brought to you by Moranti Plumbing and Oil, 901-4194. Call Josh, and he will give you what's he going to give us, Winnie?
He's going to give you a discount on a service charge.
Yes. And he will waive a service charge if you mention the Outlaw Blitz and screenshot this.
And I think I'm going to talk to him if you negotiate. If you tell me smells good, maybe get an extra 2 or 3%.
Right. If you go up and say, Winnie says you smell wonderful,
right,
maybe he'll knock a little bit more off.
That's right.
All right, go ahead, buddy.
Number 1. Would you rather have the ability to always know the truth or the power to make anyone believe a lie?
Always knowing the truth isn't always the best thing. I prefer the truth to lies, no matter how shitty it is. But if you can make anybody believe anything, you could pretty much, if you did it in the right way, which that's the problem with most of these things in concept, in theory they work, you could create world peace.
You could. You could.
Or, you could make that terrible person jump off a building.
Like the only place I can see where the lie thing to me is feasible
is if you run for Democratic president?
No, that ain't feasible. Fuck that.
Well, they lie all the time.
That's all they do. If you know that the truth would be devastating or injure somebody,
right?
That's part of AA. That's you go back and when I make my amends with people,
right?
Unless it is going to cause harm.
Correct.
And that's where,
if somebody's in a bad crash and they come over and they're like, how was Highland? And to tell them that he didn't make it is counterproductive to, you gotta tell a lie till that person gets himself out. Yeah, I get
or
it.
that person, they didn't make it, but they didn't suffer, or it's much better than he's dead and his fucking head was splattered all over the concrete.
Yeah. He was screaming in the road, begging
begging to be put out of his misery.
Yeah.
All right. Number 2. If you had to choose between having a personal theme song that plays whenever you enter a room or having a personal narrator who comments on everything you do, which would you pick?
Theme song.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And it's going to be something cool.
I want a narrator.
You want a narrator?
I don't want a narrator.
No. Highland took a shit today and splattered it all over the back wall.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Like that.
Ass
Everything you did. Oh.
Yeah. No.
You know?
George
Listen,
woke up and
think
Darth
about
Vader
it. Even in the
before
best,
work.
right? Even in the best movies, the narrator, you hear him probably like
Well, it's more
beginning, middle, end.
Yeah.
But I'm saying just in general.
Yeah.
They don't narrate the whole entire thing.
Right.
They drop in little pieces.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Narrator's not supposed to be for everything.
No.
But entering a room, you know?
It's cool. That's why what's the best part of pro wrestling is half the time the entrance song of the guy coming
When
out.
they're entering, it's their entrance song. Yeah.
Yep. All right, number 3. If you could redesign any historical event with the sole purpose of making it more entertaining, which event would you choose and what outrageous changes would you make?
Oh, man. Well, I think any presidential election, and it would be like a over-the-top battle royal.
That's awesome.
You get your theme music, you come down. You know what I mean?
Would
you
Kamala be led to the ring by Kamala?
That would be pretty funny, right? No, by like kimchi. Yeah, no, just in general, like think about that. Like you would have to have some semblance of, like I think it would be like a multiple part. You debate, the winners move on. Right. Then the end is like a fucking scrap to the death.
Yeah.
Or not to the death, but at least till, a clear winner.
Right.
And then that's it. That's who you got.
That's it.
And to put your best person forward, they better be smart, aggressive, can fight, can handle it, can talk. Absolutely. It's probably be your best human.
All right. Number 4. Would you rather have a giant mosquito the size of a car following you everywhere or have to wrestle a squirrel every day to get your keys back?
Well, mosquito would be gigantic, so, you could at least see it, and it would...
But it's following you everywhere.
Yeah, you got to just kind of run really quickly between 2 tractor trailers and let it get smushed or something. Have your friend shoot it. There's not rules like that, but wrestling a squirrel every fucking day. You had children. Do you remember when you used to have to wrestle shit out of their hands every day that they were trying to eat? That sucks.
It does.
That absolutely sucks. You wanted to kick them in the balls and just...
These motherfuckers might have germs and fucking rabies.
That. No, it's a mosquito.
All right. And number 5. Would you rather take a John Daly swung 5-iron to the taint?
Nope.
Or have Usain Bolt use your sack as a starting block with sharpened track spikes?
Usain Bolt.
Yeah.
Yeah. Either way, that region's fucked.
Right.
But a 5-iron to your taint.
That's why I picked an iron too. A wood's way more blunt.
You're gonna have a gash after that.
Yeah. You won't have a taint anymore.
No. Yeah, it's gonna be Georgina after that
because it's gonna fall into your asshole.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I agree.
No, you go really dark with these fucking questions too. What is wrong with you?
Oh,
do you need help?
I had to think of John Daly, but like I said, it had to be an iron.
Yeah,
that's gonna be fucking horrible.
Yeah, and it's gonna catch you on the upswing.
Right. And
unless you're laying down, you're letting him hit you there. No way. No way. No way.
Bolt grinding them fucking sharpened spikes in your sack.
Listen, that's like this. He's out of that gate like that, quick.
Yep. Pinch, fucking bandage it up, and be on your way.
Yep.
Hopefully, he didn't catch a nut.
Listen, you got to hope it's the back one because they don't dig into that one. They just kind of push their foot off of.
Right.
Yeah.
That's one little.
Yep.
And you're done.
All right. Yeah. Enough of your dark shit. Over and under, as we have done before.
We have many times.
What is it, overrated or is it underrated? Winnie is shooting the shots this week.
They're not dark either.
Okay.
Number 1, avocado toast.
Underrated. I don't eat it enough. I like it when I have it.
Right. And Duncan had a really good one for a while because they were sprinkling the everything bagel seasoning on top, which made it awesome.
Do you seem to find when you're doing the over-unders, like when I do them, it's generally shit that I'm currently either eating, doing, seeing, commercials, or some version
Initially, now I just try to go so random.
Or, like, if it were me, I know you were doing it, I would have done, like, school lunch shit.
Right.
This week.
Yeah.
Because we did back to school.
That's last week. I definitely drew from that.
Yeah.
Number 2, organic fruit and vegetables.
You can kind of tell the difference a little bit, and I don't know, man.
Is it worth the extreme price difference?
Well, no, not here. That's the thing.
Right.
Over where Summer and them is, they can't do all that shit to the vegetables. So the vegetables are cheap, and
And they're all
they
essentially.
taste. They definitely have a different flavor. Here, everything they nickel and dime you for everything.
They do.
So I mean, fuck if I know the difference between the tomato that's been, GMO or not. So I would say overrated
Right.
because how the fuck do you know?
Right. They could very well say it is, and
You would never know
off
unless
the
you
same
pick that
fucking
shit.
farm, right?
Unless you pick that shit yourself, how would you know?
Right. And that's probably your best bet is if that's what you're against, then go to your local farms and do.
Or grow your shit yourself.
Right. All right. Number 3, meal prep services.
Underrated. I think that's the hardest thing about dieting
Yeah.
is meal prep. If you can get it all prepped for you, where you just divide out, hey, this is shredded chicken, and you can divide it out. It's all prepped, and you just basically just throw it in an oven or whatever. Yeah, underrated.
Okay.
There's definitely worth a fee. That's
The fact
value.
I had tried the factors and they were good. They
Yeah.
were tasty. Not a lot of food, but they were tasty. I think that's the point, but
Yeah.
they were good. Number 4, Bitcoin or anything like Bitcoin.
Here's the thing: if you have any of it, underrated, because if it hits, you're gonna be all right.
Right.
Still in today's world, as much as I want to say that we aren't digital currency, we kind of are. Like, how often do you deal with cash, like cashing a check, writing a check? You know what I mean? Like, very rarely do I go to the ATM anymore. Everybody's just touching everything. Right. That's like their former currency.
Right. Most places, I don't even take my card out of my wallet now.
Right. You can do it right there. Right. So the reality is it's probably underrated for what it's going to become.
Right. It's tough when you're not a risk taker because we've seen people put money into this digital form of currency that, okay, it's going to hit, and it never does, and they lose their fucking shirt. Or the opposite. Hey, listen, I think I heard people talking that this is going to hit. I threw $1,000 into it, and all of a sudden your 1,000 turned into 20,000. Good for you.
Right.
But not everybody is going to speculate.
No, what I did for a little while, I don't know, it was last fall or early spring.
Yeah.
Every paycheck, I just bought $20 of Bitcoin.
Okay.
And like, it's not a lot because of how much it costs right now. But the thing is, you got $20 of Bitcoin, you got $20 of Bitcoin, you got $20 of Bitcoin, and if it becomes a world currency that becomes acceptable everywhere and skyrockets again,
right?
Whether I have one Bitcoin by the time I buy all these couple $100 or thousands of dollars worth, or a half, you know what I mean? It has grown.
I've heard stories where people ordered a pizza and didn't have money to tip the guy. And back then, when it first came out,
when it was nothing,
people had whole Bitcoins.
Yeah.
And sent the guy a complete Bitcoin as a tip.
Right.
When it wasn't anything. Now, how much is a whole Bitcoin?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Like mining, that shit to me is crazy.
Well, who was the guy that they wanted to pay him in Bitcoin in the NFL? So many $1 million in Bitcoin.
Really?
Yeah. And I think he took like a deal and then it went up like drastically and then he sold it because it was worth more to him.
Yeah. That's smart.
Smart.
If you hit right.
Right.
Number 5, subscription boxes.
Meaning?
You've got like Bespoke Post.
You mean like where you can get clothes or something?
Yeah, they do it like clothes. Like they're Bespoke Post. You can pick like a men's box, and you can pick like I'm into camping, so every month box may include something.
Can I subscribe to just a chick's box and she just comes?
Probably not.
No,
you can, but
it's probably frowned upon.
It's probably frowned upon. Yeah.
In Vegas, you can do that.
Whatever you want,
and then you buy a shit ton of Blistex.
That's right.
I'll say overrated because I don't use them.
Right.
And not for nothing. What exactly would you use where you need something new every week or month or?
That's the thing.
I just don't know. You know what I mean? Me personally, I don't know.
Like
how many clothes do you need?
Right. For kids, there's like that came out years ago. It was like wrestling box where once a month the kid would get like a box and it would have a wrestler autograph, a figure, a T-shirt,
Yeah.
stuff you collect. Okay, but I'm with you. Like, I don't want, random every month I get a fucking box that's gonna have $100 worth of clothes that I may never wear.
Right, because if you don't like the
You
style,
don't pick it out. Yeah, you just.
I mean, I get it if you had like a store where you could sell them,
right,
or something, or I mean, I'm sure to the right person. I'm just for me overrated.
I would tend to agree, overrated.
You know what I mean? I don't know that there's something like if I was a writer and I use certain notebooks and certain pens, and I could get them in like a box every month and a discount with their newest
With
whatever
their newest stuff.
yeah, then of course I would.
Right, if it fit your narrative, your job,
your needs,
even your biggest hobby,
but your needs, not just I'm going to get a fucking new hat, shirt, and every month and sneakers.
Right.
So at the end of fucking 12 months, you got 12 pair of sneakers.
Right. Like Bespoke Post, I keep mentioning them. If you go and you look at their monthly stuff that they've sent, all cool stuff. But once the novelty of it wears off, how much are you going to use it? Like one of them was like if you were a bourbon guy, they had a thing to where you could put it in this cask, it would age your bourbon. Stuff like that.
I could see.
An axe,
well, here's the thing:
a meat smoker.
If I could see if you're into barbecuing, like you said, hobbies, barbecuing, liquor, I guarantee you weed.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Definitely
where you get different cigars.
Like yeah.
Probably great for those people. I don't have any of those vices, so it is what it is.
Gotcha. And the bonus one, VR, virtual reality.
You know what? I'm going to say underrated, and I'll tell you why. Because if you're scared of heights, but you can sit firmly in that chair right now, put the thing on, and go up in a hot air balloon, how's that not underrated?
Right. That's cool.
You know what I mean? If you're not a good swimmer, you can go underwater and snorkel. They have these things. If you don't have a giant 12-inch hammer on you, somehow you can get VR porn and be Johnny Holmes.
That's right.
But yeah, you know what I mean? 100%. Like, I think it's underrated. I did the roller coaster one. Like, I had one. Remember back in the day.
Right,
so
right.
Yeah,
I like the training aspects of VR.
Well, you can use it to train. Hey, well, remember, I don't know if you saw this, and I'm sorry to cut you off, and I say that every episode, but I don't know if you saw this. You made a point that I was getting to, but where the news anchor was very critical of the police, and they put him in a VR headset, and then he went out to do, like shoot or not shoot, and he shot like 9 out of 10 wrong people.
Wow.
Right? It was a no-shoot situation, and he shot.
Wow.
And at the end of that, he was like, oh my God. A guy was scrubby bubby, and he comes up and he's like, hey, can you help me with? And he reaches, and the guy's only got his wallet or his phone.
Bang.
And he shot him. You know what I mean? So, like, there's ways to advance that. Right. Like you said,
I believe
training.
NASCAR has utilized it a lot.
Well, the sims.
Right.
The simulators, yeah. Yeah, but that's a little different.
Yeah.
It's a simulator.
But VR is
more like the goggles.
Yeah. It was funny. Did he try to do it with a Google? Google has their own set of glasses now, I think, which are pretty interesting. I think Ericsson tried to do batting with them on, and it was like impossible because you're seeing.
Yeah, because you can see through it though too.
Right.
Yeah,
it's just fucking distracting.
Well, they say there's a VR batting cage.
Yeah. That
a lot of kids use in the winter when they can't get out and hit.
Right.
And it literally will put you at 98 down sinker. You know what I mean? And when they came back, like their hand-eye coordination was right there because of it.
Right.
So there's definitely an advantage.
There's a use for it. So yeah.
Underrated.
Yep. All right. So there is our over-under.
Nice. Rabbit hole. What dragged you down the TikTok, YouTube Reels hole this week? I love that song. It was an upgrade. That song.
Yes, 100%.
I sent you something with Trevor Bauer.
I saw, but now he's had no content in the last 2 weeks. Which
they're in the playoffs.
That's why.
Yeah,
but that's pretty amazing. He came in on 2 days rest.
And threw 2 and came in as a reliever.
4 innings, one of them an immaculate inning, and shut them the fuck down. He won the MVP award down there, too.
Yeah. And now, was that the championship? Or
That was in the champion. That was to get to, I think, the finals.
And they're done now?
No, I think they're in the championship right now.
Yeah. Where I started was I fell down this fucking rabbit hole with these two dudes, and it's called Redneck Reviews.
Okay.
And they come in, and everyone starts the same, and it's their start that got me. They come in and they go, "I'm Hank and I'm Skank. Grab your chew and your brew and let's review." And one has a chew, one has the brew, and let's review. And they'll just be like, and then it's a girl. They'll do it to like anything, like this 9/16 wrench. Right. But they'll be like, and they'll work it, right? Yeah. But there's other ones where they'll be like, a girl will show up and they'll be like, "Nice tits," and that's the whole review. And that's it. And I end up watching like 50 of them fucking things.
Shout out to, and I promised I'd give him a plug, our buddy at work, Mr. Gomes.
Oh, yeah?
Has a YouTube channel. Not Grayson is his channel where he does reaction videos.
NOTGRAYOSON?
Correct.
Okay.
Yep.
Not Grayson on what? YouTube?
On YouTube.
On YouTube.
He does reaction videos on YouTube.
And you fell down that rabbit hole?
I did, because he does a lot of Mr. Beast stuff. So so I got down to Mr. Beast rabbit hole, which I had never watched.
I never heard that dude talk.
So. Right.
No, not Mr. Beast.
Oh, Grayson?
Yes.
Yeah, and it's funny. I told him, I said, I got so engrossed in the video, and you were too, because you weren't saying a whole lot for a while.
Yeah.
So, but then it did drive me down to Mr. Beast rabbit hole for a while. One that I thought was awesome, it was, I forget how many, it was like $100,000 maybe, or $250,000 for two people. You had to live underground in a bunker for 100 days.
Mm-hmm.
And throughout the 100 days, they had challenges. At one point, he came down like 30 days in and offered them half the pot to leave now. And they said, "Fuck that, we're staying." And then they put a buzzer in there, so if this alarm went off and you didn't hit it within 5 seconds, you were eliminated. It was over. So they strategically moved their bed to a certain area, so if the thing went off during the night, they could just reach up. And it was a hand-read sensor. They had to put their hand on it. They had to read it to stop the alarm. So Mr. Beast stuff. Titanic. I've been down the Titanic rabbit hole a lot lately.
Really?
They just revisited.
The Titanic's currently sinking in where we work.
Yes.
The medical department.
100%. But they went down. This was just last week. They were down to the ship again. And they did a full, they took over
scan or something?
200,000 images.
Yeah.
That they're going to do a full 3D scan of the entire wreckage and the debris field. But it's really starting to decay now. The big railing. It's
starting to like collapse down this way, right?
And the big railing on the bow, which was iconic in the movie, that's starting to fall in on itself. So they're going to go down.
Well, it's been 112 years, right? 1912.
Right.
112 years. And there's so much pressure for how deep it is down in the ocean. So
yeah, and as cold as it is, but it's being just overtaken by sea life, and so they're going to be sending another submersible down with robots to retrieve whatever they can off the ocean floor to try to preserve something. At this point, they just found one of the statues that was in the first class dining room. Like this, it's a beautiful statue. 112 years at the bottom of the ocean, it's still fully intact.
Yeah.
So it's weird how some stuff is so well preserved.
I can pretty much guarantee you, if you bought it from Timo, it would not still be preserved.
Probably not.
Probably not 112 seconds after you get it home.
I gotta text the general, the private, because I think it's MGM out there.
He's out in San Francisco with his people right now.
Well, no, they're in LA.
He went to he lied to you. The private is in San Francisco with his people.
They're going to Vegas. They're flying to Vegas for a few days. And MGM has the big wall that they were able to raise from Titanic.
Oh,
a big section of the first and second class that they were able to raise, and they've preserved it, and that's on display at the MGM.
What do you feel about that? I feel like it's robbing a graveyard.
Yeah, like to raise this was separated from the ship, and it was laying on the ocean floor.
Let me.
They didn't disturb.
Say that in a different way. I think it is, but when they come up with like shoes and shit, that's wrong. You know, when they got like the shoes of people, that's wrong.
It's fucked.
That's that's people's stuff.
But to bring up
people that
to
was
bring
on
up a White Star Line plate that's fully preserved,
or like
I don't have an issue with that.
Well, we did the Titanic thing with the team there in Tennessee, remember?
Right?
And fucking Ezra got to hold a piece of the boat.
Right.
You know what I mean? And they had coal there that was actually on the ship.
Right.
So
life preservers that were taken from that they got from the survivors when they got off the Carpathia.
That was an amazing
trip.
Fun. That was a cool. Good. If you really wanted to know a lot, you could know everything.
And the dude looked just like Captain Smith.
And then put your hand in that cold ass water.
Right.
You realized how cold it really was.
And the way he described it, he's like, put your hand in, and you're like, oh, that's fucking cold. Now put your hand back in and move it, and you're like, oh, it's like fucking razor blades. Yeah. It was terrible.
Yeah, and the thing a lot of people didn't understand, I didn't understand, is because of the salt water, it doesn't freeze at 32.
Right.
It's more like 26 or 24. It's really fucking cold.
But the will to survive is amazing, because I got this from one of the videos. One of the crew members went down with the ship, but when the ship broke, the bow went down first and the stern was the last thing down. And as it was getting to the surface, people that were able to hang on jumped off. Right. Yeah.
But that downward fucking
force. Right. So it drags you down and you got to swim back up. He survived 2.5 hours until the Carpathia got there in the water. And there's no rhyme or reason. He should have been dead. Right. But the human will to live.
Hyperthermia, whatever. Right. Yeah.
It's amazing to see.
Well, now our show has gone right down the fucking ocean, just like Winnie just dragged us into the abyss.
Eric Sim.
Nice way to land on a bed. All right.
Fun Eric Sim content. Hasn't happened yet, but it's coming. Sugarland, Texas. I think it's the end of September. They're doing a home run derby.
Okay.
The only two, and from what I can see in the poster, it's like 6 or 8 contestants. The only two that are advertised right now are Eric Sim and Jose Canseco.
No, I bet you Canseco can
he still
smash.
Mashes.
Yeah.
Still mashes.
Nice.
He was doing home run derby like a softball thing. He's putting balls in fucking orbit. He's 63 years old.
Yeah.
But he's jacked. He's still super roided up.
I'm sure. The only other one I really got into this week was this guy. He's on TikTok. Little Mo Mozzarella.
Oh, I've watched him.
Yeah. How you doing?
Yeah, Little Mo.
And he's like, yo, why you walk that way? Why I walk that way? What do you what's he called? Neck bone?
Yep.
We go neck bone, and then nobody moves, nobody gets hurt.
Little Mo's friends with
the two Irish guys in Boston, the market.
The market, but he's got the other Italian guy that's really goofy looking with the long hair and glasses.
Yeah.
That he has his own shit too. But Little Mo's funny as hell.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of the same repetitive shit.
Right.
Nikki Cass, I always fall down that rabbit hole when he's got new shit.
Oh, Bounty Hunter D. I was down that rabbit hole for hours.
What's Bounty Hunter D?
He's a bounty hunter in Florida. So he does bail. He does bail jumping, shit like that, and repos. Okay. But his show, I guess it's on a local network down there, and he's got his YouTube channel too, his Redneck Repos. So he shows up at these people's houses, and he's like, listen, you don't want to fuck with me. He's like, I'm trained to go. He goes, that's why I have the camera crew here. I'm never going to make the first move. But if you touch me or any of my people, it's not going to be good.
Yeah.
So TikTok being the way it is, they can't show the violence. So they'll show the guy lunge at Bounty Hunter D, and the next thing you see is the dude is sleeping.
Yeah.
Puts him out. But the length that people go to.
Probably a lot of Ellenville burglar alarms down there.
Oh, my God.
No, you know what I'm talking about, where they got the junk all through the yard, the wind chimes?
Oh, it is. Yeah. One of them was. He specifically had the shitty-ass gate tied off with cowbells hanging off of it. Yep. He cut the chain. They come running outside. Fucking in their Daytona Beach 83 mesh tank top.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Wanting to fucking fight.
Probably hot pink.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Mullet and everything.
Yep.
But, yeah, the length that people will try to go to not have him take their car. And then normally if he's doing a repo in the hood. So I'm guessing it's standard everywhere. When you're in Florida and you're going to do repos, you have to notify the local police department that you're going to be there with the addresses and the phone numbers and shit. So he'll listen, the cops know I'm here. I don't want to get them involved, but you're pushing me to the point where I have to. As soon as he threatens the cops in certain neighborhoods, people just disappear in the house. They probably got fucking active warrants. They don't want anybody there.
I saw, maybe not him, but I saw a guy go and grab a car, and as he started to drive away, a lady was getting railed in it. And it was her car. They were repoing.
Oh, that's awesome.
She's like, "What are you doing?" Comes out her titty out of her shirt, and he's like, "Pay your bills, man. Like, what are you doing?"
Yeah. So, TikTok. You've made TikTok shop purchases, right?
Yeah. Yep.
What has been really good and what has been an absolute dud?
Good. I got the sunglasses that I had already ordered them before I went away.
Right.
Sunglasses that you can hear, like you do your phone through. They work wonderful. They really do. A dud? I don't really know, like, dud wise, because like it's been minimal of what I purchased on there. I did the translator headphones. They didn't come in before I left for Italy, which sucked. But then when I got home, I put it on Telemundo and I put my phone over there and it read it all back to me. And,
no shit.
Yeah, I was watching some. It was actually became amusing because funny. I was watching a soap opera with fucking on Telemundo and I had the headphones in and I'm like, holy shit, I understand this now.
That's fucking funny.
So,
good stuff that I've gotten. My father had gotten it when I was down.
Oh, those lollipops that we did last week off the air, that was pretty cool.
Yep. Last time I was down, he had got one of the phone chargers that have the retractable cables.
Yeah.
It didn't, for whatever reason, it's really fucking fat.
Thick.
It didn't fit in my
in between your like console.
No, it didn't fit in the hole. It didn't fit in the lighter thing.
Yeah.
So I gave it to Carly. It fit in her car. Yeah, but it's great because you pull it out and once you're done charging, you don't have fucking wires hanging all over your car. The biggest dud was it was like this mechanical like scrub brush that was on the end of a thing and you could charge it. USB-C, change the heads on it. I charged it once.
What, to like do your bathroom or something? Yeah.
Charged it once, died in 20 minutes and wouldn't recharge.
All right. So you want the GMAC version of that?
Yeah.
So I seen that thing and I'm like, oh fuck that. I went to the Dollar Tree right here, or to whatever, Dollar General.
Yeah.
I went over and I got a fucking toilet brush.
Yeah.
That has the scrub. That's not like, it doesn't have the hole in the center. It's got the actual like
pad on the end.
Cone scrub,
right?
Scrubby. I ripped the fucking handle off and I put it in my wireless screw gun. My shower was spotless in like 10 seconds.
Perfect.
Dude, that's it. You buy 3 of them, you label them, shower, toilet, whatever, and then you just spray the shit.
Yeah.
Literally, it looked like the scrub bubbles that are all shiny were in there.
That's awesome. Yeah. That's cool. Yeah, no, that was probably the biggest dud for like $29, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm like, motherfucker. But, yeah, it's just, I guess you gotta...
I do want to talk one more thing about Rabbit Hole for a second.
Sure.
So, for last 4 years, and we've talked about it on a Rabbit Hole in the past, there was a guy called Pop Watch. I think his first name was Joe. Joe Roy was his name. It was Pop Watch, and he was funny as hell. And his grandson would take him around, and he loved Dr. Pepper, and he passed away last week. He was like 90-something years old.
Damn.
So everybody that followed Pop Watch would take a Dr. Pepper in honor of him. So I bought a Dr. Pepper candle, because he provided a lot of entertainment to me over the last probably it started around like COVID.
Yeah.
So tons and hours I watched this guy talking shit. And he was an old guy and he'd be like, Jesus, you see the booty on that one? Oh shit, Jason, you're full of shit. He's like, you took $10 from me. Yeah, man, your ass I did. You ain't worked a hard day in your life. Like, he was that guy. He gave a lot of shit to his grandson, but his grandson loved him dearly. And he was just an entertaining, great guy.
Yeah.
And he passed away. And but I'll tell you what, that guy was something else. I never watched a video and didn't smirk. He always got me to smile. So, and he passed away in between the 200 show and this show. So.
Oh, shit.
But yeah, if you get a chance, go look at some Pop Watch videos. Funny as hell.
Cool.
Anything else?
Rabbit hole wise, not really. Just there was a thing on Dave Kingman that I found. He statistically had the worst batting. Statistically had the worst season of anybody to ever have like 25 or 30 home runs.
Yeah, the strikeouts, right? It was
terrible.
Through the fucking roof.
Terrible.
Didn't he have over 100 strikeouts and 30 home runs or something?
Yeah, it was over almost 200 strikeouts, 30 home runs, and they did it with today's analytics. What is it? WAR is the not WAR. It's whatever it is where the league average is like 100, and if you fall below that, you're below league average. He was 30 home runs and like 68 RBIs, which is atrocious.
Yeah,
he was like a 74, so like 26 points below league average.
Jesus,
like that was the king of either hitting a home run when they were 10 runs ahead or 10 runs behind.
Yeah, and solo shots
right.
Apparently.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, because at 30, you got 30 RBIs.
Yeah, there's only like before the steroid era, there were only 2 players that had over 400 home runs that were in the Hall of Fame: Darrell Evans
and Dave Kingman.
And Kingman was purely because he was fucking terrible outside of.
So he was pretty much like a men's softball player.
Light tower power, and that's all he had.
Yeah,
he was a dick on every team he was on.
Yeah.
Yep. Huh. So shout out to Eddie Hearn, who's
still battling.
Yep. That man's got the will.
Yeah.
So,
all right. Anything else? I'm good.
No, man.
You're good.
I'm hoping the weather holds out. We can see some Marist Georgetown football.
I just put BGS construction with all studs from the rear on the bottom just because.
And he's gay.
Yeah. So yeah. All right, bring us home, big fella.
All right, for GMAC, this is Winnie. This has been the Outlaw Blitz